What's up everybody, my name is Sydney and I'm your official CAPA vlogger for the spring of 2015 in London. So, hi everybody, sorry my camera quality is not as good as it usually is. I'm using my little handy dandy camera, not really my fancy smancy camera, so just be aware about that. So, today I'm going to talk to you guys about traveling because I just got back from spring break and the last vlog was me and my trips around Florence and having fun and everything. This one I want to talk to you one about my trip to Budapest because that was amazing, probably one of the best weekends of my life. And two, kind of tips about traveling when you're abroad because there are a couple things I wish I had known, but it's cool, we pass on the knowledge, help each other out. The one thing I wish I'd known when I was planning to go abroad would be to plan ahead for your trips because not too far ahead, but plan somewhat ahead. If there's a couple places you want to go, you want to go to these two places definitely, make sure you plan those trips ahead because the closer you get to the time you want to buy the ticket and the time you want to leave, then the more expensive things get. And remember, the dollar and the pound don't get along that well, so make sure you plan ahead so that you can get the best deals on the flights. Next thing I want to say is to not be afraid to travel by yourself, all right? I know it sounds kind of daunting, it sounds a little bit scary, it sounds like bad advice, but trust me on this. It's nice sometimes if your friends are going, let's say they want to go to Ireland and Spain, and you really want to go to Amsterdam and Germany. Well, you know what? Let them do their thing. You go where you want to go. I mean, you're only here once, and if there's things you really want to do, do it. Do you. Don't let the haters stop you, all right? That's my advice to you. Now, of course, traveling alone requires a little bit more awareness, a little bit more preparing, making sure that you have the locks you need for your bags in the hostel, making sure that you know it, making sure that you're aware of what you need to be doing because you'll be by yourself. However, you can still really enjoy a place if you travel alone. I went to Budapest on my own, but I went with the trip, with a student weekend trip plan kind of company, and it was really cool. I mean, I got to enjoy the city, I made some new friends, and if I had just gone where everyone else was going just because everyone else was going there, I wouldn't have had the experience. So I think traveling by yourself is something to really consider if you're going abroad. Alright, so next thing, kind of going off the last one, is that if you want to travel by yourself, but you don't want to be by yourself, travel with a group. And by that I mean there's a lot of tour companies, for example WSA is Weekend Student Adventures. That's what I did when I went to Budapest, and I paid it wasn't expensive, it was 189 euro, and I got a tour guide. They got all the transportation taken care of in terms of getting around the city. The hostels booked through them, a couple entry fees into caving, all kinds of fun things. So the thing that's really cool about the group is that it helps to maximize time since you'll be traveling, you'll be in a foreign country. I do not know Hungarian, therefore having a Hungarian tour guide, what's up Bogey, was really helpful in terms of making sure I got the most out of the city I was in. So I think for example, WSA was awesome. I highly recommend them. WSA, it was really great. The last thing I want to say is that if you don't want to travel every single weekend and be a jet set off to all corners of the world, that's okay. One thing they said to us in the beginning of CAPA is that we spend all this time trying to get to our host city, for example London, and then once we're here, everyone wants to jet set off every weekend. And it's why do you spend all that time and money trying to get here if you're going to spend all this time and money trying to get out? But yeah, so just make sure you travel somewhere because you're never gonna get flights as cheap to all these places over here in Europe ever again unless you come back to Europe. But also explore your host city like they tell us to. London is awesome. They say tired of London, tired of life, and I spent a lot of weekends here, and I know I'm not gonna even scratch the surface of it, which makes me so sad. But yeah, so just make sure you travel as much as you want to. Don't feel pressured to travel every weekend if everyone else is. You got this. It's your time abroad. It's my time abroad. It's our time abroad. All right. So that's my tips to you on traveling. Check out a little footage of my trip to Budapest real quick. It was a great time. Budapest was amazing. I loved it so much. Our tour guide was great. She knew a lot about the different architecture and the different history of the two different Buda and Pest.
Buda and Pest were not always one city. They were separated, only joined forces in the 19th century.
And now they're Budapest, and we did a lot of fun things. We went caving. Caving was awesome. I felt really in touch with the earth because I was inside the earth, and we did a lot of great things. We did a boat party on the river, and it was absolutely amazing. So that's my trip. I'm going to share that trip with you, and now I hope that you are inspired to travel somewhere that you never would have been before. But anyway, have a great week. I'm Sydney, and I'm in London, having it up. And I just hope you have a great day, all right?